Here we go. One Piece chapter 1143. We're just gonna get right to it. Cover page. It's cover art. The Straw Hats are on flying fish. Now, you know what we typically do in these cover stories. Just cover art. We just compare Nami and Robin. We can barely see Robin, so Nami takes the cake here, right? Just a really cool shot. The Straw Hats on the flying fishes. I don't know. It's just seeing them in different elements. It's cool. Oda obviously likes doing this, so or the same. I enjoyed it. Now to the chapter. The entire first half of the chapter is just utter confusion. The kids are walking towards obviously where they're sending them, but for everybody else, they're wondering what's happening. And I think Oda did an amazing job of segueing into the devil fruits and what they're doing, using different scenes. At the beginning, the kids are walking towards, again, where Gunko is sending them. And then Saul is like, yo, we just got to stop them and keep them and bring them back to the school. But then they're saying, yo, they said not to touch them. As soon as Saul goes to touch one of them, he gets attacked by thorns. So now there's a question. What is his devil fruit power? It's not Gunko's. It doesn't seem to be killing him. So it has to be Summers, right? And that's revealed at the end that Summers does have the thorn fruit. And we're going to get into that because it has some interesting capabilities. And to be honest, Killingham's fruit, that takes the cake because it is absolutely broken. But we'll get there. I just wanted to point them out real quick.
All right, folks, it's a lot going on, but let's hit the pause button on that for now. B.D.A here with something that's been a total game changer for me. We're talking Factor. Fresh, never frozen meals that takes the stress out of eating right. Now, these aren't your average TV dinners. No, they're chef crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to roll in just 2 minutes. No grocery store drama, no chopping veggies while you're half asleep. Just pure, delicious fuel delivered straight to your door. With over 35 options a week, keto, calorie smart, vegan, and veggie, you name it. Plus 60 plus add-ons like smoothies and snacks. It's like having a personal chef on speed dial. Now, you know me. I'm usually neck deep in One Piece analysis, breaking down evidence or figuring out or trying to figure out what Oda is thinking. Factor's been my ace in the hole. Less time cooking means more time for what matters. Whether I'm scripting the next vid, digging into a wild theory, or just kicking it back with the boys, my go-to, man, that gourmet plus steak meal, picture this, okay? Tender filet mignon, still juicy even after reheating, not dry, not tough, paired with premium broccolini on the side. It's restaurant vibes without the insane takeout bill. Absolute gold for a guy who's too busy to play chef. But look, if you're juggling work, life, or just trying to keep your sanity intact, Factor's got your back. Flexible plans, premium eats, and no cleanup? That's a win in my book. But here's how you get this, okay? You head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50BDA to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. Guys, don't wait. Get on this now.
Every time Oda introduces new devil fruits, I'm like, okay, why and why? Like a dream fruit, super hacks. What's the drawback? Typically for hacks fruit, they have insane drawbacks. So what's the drawback? For Summers, it's not that hacks, but it's just like, can you instill love into a devil fruit and have it react to that? Seemingly that's what's happening. Because for the PE teacher, he looked devastated, right? Did he try to grab them and he got just annihilated? Saul got like a little prick. Does Saul not care about them as much as the PE teacher? I don't know. Something to think about, you know? But we'll get to the devil fruits in depth in a second. Like I said, this chapter felt like utter confusion because a fire's going on. And then they send the firefighters, the fire brigade, to take care of it. Over the hill comes what looks like Brook, destroys the fire brigade. And I'm like, bro, wait, what? Everybody's shocked, right? Because what is really happening in Elbaf right now? I do want to clarify. I do think Saul cares about the kids. I mean, we saw how Saul cared about Nico Robbins. So I don't think that's lost on him, right? I just think Saul is just using an example of the devil fruit. Nothing more, nothing less. He does care. Obviously, he cares. PE teacher, he might care more. Either way, first half confusion, second half explanations, reasonings, right? And some personality from the God Knights. We get into Summers. Might be my favorite God Knight so far. Might be. He talks about Gunko because I feel the same way about Gunko. Super stuck up, but I think because she's an honorary celestial dragon, so she's like, I have to protect my place, right? She knows she's DEI. No, all right, I'm not gonna. We're not going there. But Summers seems to be about art, right? And about love. He talks about, well, look at the giant you saw when he went after it. You saw his face. It was priceless, dude. You know what they say about love? It's about roses and thorns, right? So there's a method to his madness that he loves. And through his passion, I'm enjoying it. right? He goes on to explain his power a little bit, saying the more love you have, the deeper the passion thorns take hold. So, for instance, if the passion thorns are around a loved one's body and you go to try to remove them or save them, you get inflicted more damage. So it is the most diabolical, twisted way of love that you can use the thorns in. And, a lot of people are saying that he could be a Sanji victim. But I mean, Scopper did have an idea in view of love as well. So that could happen, so something to think about. But Summers, he's diabolical because he's saying, yo, imagine, right? People come to try to hug their kids and then the thorns rip them to pieces. And then the kids, they're going to be blaming themselves because they're like, oh my gosh, their love killed them, right? Right in front of them. I'm like, bro, that's sick. Why would you want to do that? But he views love in a different way. He's definitely the type like Vanderdecken, right? Who loved somebody but's willing to kill him or do things to them in the name of love. It's like a twisted way of viewing love, which, like I said, love is roses and thorns. So I don't know. I like Summers a lot, but his way of thinking twisted. But I mean, I do like Doflamingo. I like characters like that. Even murder can be moving. That's what Summers is saying, right? And he says he's looking forward to death by love. It's almost like D.A. in Naruto talking about art, right? Which is like, okay, his form of art, but it's still a little twisted. Still a lot twisted. And Summers, he's just twisted, broken. Mentioned hacks before. Hacks, broken, whatever you want to use for that, okay? This dude told Summers to think about salt. Summers thought about salt. Killingham put him to sleep. He then pulled the salt out of his dream. Yes, he pulled the salt out of his dream. Something I was thinking was about how diabolical this fruit would be in the wrong hands. Imagine this fruit in the hands of an OnlyFans. I think this fruit in the wrong hands or right hands, depending on your perspective, could go crazy. I mean, it's already going, what? Bro, okay, Killingham. All right, you got it. But Killingham's devil fruit, though, obviously a lot of benefits. We don't know the drawbacks yet. He says he can do things pulled out simultaneously. The food that he made, it was no calories to it. So I'm like, does it give zero energy? What's the point of it? Or does it give energy and while it's having 0 calories? But wouldn't it be something that could possibly feed the people of Mary Joa as well by, having them think of food and pulling it out? So things to consider, but so far, completely asinine power. Something I thought the God Knights knew before they got there was that the Straw Hats were here. Emperor Straw Hat, Luffy, and his crew are here. Gunko pointed that out. I thought that's something that would have been clear or communicated to them. But something to also consider is that they have absolutely no care for anything. So the Straw Hats being here or not, they feel like they can carry out their duty. I mean, we'll see what the reaction is, if there's going to be a sense of urgency from them. I doubt it. Even with the kids walking into the fire, they're like, it's fine. We can just have more kids. So they don't care about these kids. They don't care at all. It's escalation happening next chapter. Again, it's crazy. It's monsters popping out everywhere, fire, thorns. You can't stop the kids. It is literally it's like a really bad dream, which, makes sense considering Killingham is there. So it's all lining up to be just like, what? Right? But man, hopefully all the kids make it out. Now, second half of the chapter, Loki stuff. They're fighting Loki. Well, fighting Loki and his bluff. It's interesting because Loki's still trying to hold him off. I'm like, what is your plan here? You can barely stand. They kind of see right through you. Even if they let you go, what will you be able to do? Where will you be able to go? They even mention it saying, I guess his idea was to, once he get away, just pass out somewhere out of sight, but you probably would have died. So I don't know what Loki's plan was. I mean, it's a lot of pride there, but we can kind of extrapolate some of the things he says and kind of put 2 and 2 together and see where he's going with it. We'll talk about it at the end. But Loki, I mean, it's a very interesting character. Now, Zoro is just no nonsense. Luffy, right? Luffy's falling for Loki's antics. Zoro's not buying it at all. But we know Luffy's more empathetic than Zoro is, and Luffy can kind of read people's feelings a bit better. Zoro's like, we're not doing this, Luffy. Like, we just stop, right? Stop. Loki even managed to convince Hiruden to kind of fall for his things. But Hiruden does not like his brother, right? We'll talk about that. But golly, Loki, it was a bluff. Luffy barely tapped him. Loki falls over and he's like, all right. He was done. I mean, he got attacked by Gunko, got attacked by Shamrock. He's at his wit's end and he couldn't defend himself. So him standing and lasting that long because he told him none of them could even lift Ragnar is interesting. Wonder where that's going to go. I believe this is Luffy's first request of his Grand Fleet. That is to save Loki. As much as they hate him, as much as they call him the Stain of Elbaf, Luffy's asking them to save Loki and they are doing it. They did. Something that they mentioned, it kind of gives me an idea of what's going to happen going forward. They talked about Loki it's going to be months before he recovers. Yeah, sure, but he's going to be moving before months. And the reason why I believe that is because Loki's not the main antagonist of this arc. He is going to be somebody that is creating some interest, some more intrigue, may not be liked by everyone, may be anti this, anti that, but he's not the main antagonist because, again, he's hurt for months. And so when you have a character like that, typically you shelve them, or once they're involved, you know that nerf exists. So if they lose, if they win, it's a different level of credit there. So I think Loki's going to be involved in a fight before the end of the arc, even if they're saying several months. He's too important of a character, but he's going to be hurt, right? So even if he loses, it's like, well, Loki was hurt. And it kind of gives Oda more flexibility when it comes to writing, because he's not just tied into something there. So not mad at it. Now we get some flashback stuff, right? Flashback time. Because we find out Loki's horns are indeed real, right? We figured, but they're real. They're a mark of the ancient giants. Now we go into the flashback. Hyrule, he doesn't like his brother, and for good reason, but his brother said, it's Elbaf, right? And Hyrule, at that point, he's weak, right? Still weak. He says, how can a little runt like you be my big brother? Ha! Again, he's a kid figuring things out. He even said, you're a bastard. You'll never be Dad's true heir. Now, Loki's been accused of killing his dad. Even here, he's saying, like, he will never be Dad's true heir. So, like, he holds that at a certain level of respect. So more and more, I was like, yo, Loki didn't kill his dad. I've been telling you all this for weeks. Loki pretty much confirms it with Hyrule, because Hyrule, he's like, he has the axe. Loki's laying down, and he's like, he gotta go, right? He can't take it anymore, right? Loki been talking smack, he's stolen his birthright, right? There's just so many different things that Loki has done that Hyrule just doesn't like, and now he's in a vulnerable position where he can hurt him. He's like, I'm gonna take this opportunity. But Loki wakes up and he's like, yo, you and his complaining, it's just tired. It's just tiresome. Jeez, man, you're just complaining and you're a bum. Didn't say all that, but I'm just paraphrasing. He lays it out. He says, you're drunk on this personal drama. You're not seeing the forest for beyond the trees. You are looking at this from one perspective and not thinking about anything else that's happened. You really think I killed our dad in cold blood, right? Do you really think I killed our dad? Now, making sense. He's saying you don't really buy that, and that's leading into things we felt for a while, that Loki wasn't the one to kill Harold, or if he was, it was an accident or something happened. But we're gonna find out more. Jaro, you gotta come to the front of the congregation. Why you got that sword in your hand? What actually happened? Why was a summoning circle already in the palace, right? Why would the God Knights come and try to visit Harold's grave? Jaro, what happened? I'm gonna let you come clean. Come on, what happened? Because if you don't come clean, we're gonna have to, all right. That was about to sound crazy. But don't make us pull that sword out, Jaro. Don't make us do that. Either way, that's the end of the chapter, right? Loki has interesting dialogue. Hydrogen, he's not feeling it at all. Feel like we're going to flashback next week. Probably some stuff with Harold. I don't know. That'd be dope. But I'm not buying that Loki killed his dad in cold blood. No. I just don't think so. I think all in all, this was a developmental chapter for Loki, where we're finally going to see another side of him. Even Hyrule, who's been upbeat, loving, he's at a point now where he's like thinking about killing his brother in cold blood. So it's just, this is needed, right? This moment is needed because Hyrule, he's about to go off the deep end. And, you know, we would like for him to remain the good, fun-loving giant that he always has been. So, guys, give me your thoughts. How do you feel about the chapter? I thought it was a good chapter, right? Development in all fronts in Elbaf, and see more, like the video. If you did subscribe to the channel for more content like this, follow me on Twitter, B.D.A. Follow me on Instagram, B.D.A. Thank to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Link below if you'd like to join, become a patron. Penguin is hitting. Dragon Ball Z is hitting. OP One Piece is on the way back. So if you'd like to enjoy those, link in the description. But guys, I appreciate you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one.